Is it giving you all that you want? Is it taking you higher? Are you walking the wire? What side of love are you on? It will wake you up in the dead of night when you feel alone.
Hey everybody, this is Trader Rod, VPT Live. I always like to start out with a little song there. That's What Side of Love by Parachute, kind of a pop band. It's had a couple hits. DJ Rod. All right, let me close this for just a second. Before we get going, just wanted to remind everybody of the disclaimer that these broadcasts are for educational purposes. Nothing I say or do here is meant as a solicitation to buy or sell any security. Trading involves risk, and specifically the trading of options, forex, and futures, which is what I talk about in trade, is not suitable for all investors. You can go to vptlive.com/notices for more information about our terms, conditions, and further details about the disclaimers. All right, tonight I want to cover two quick things. Kind of the trade of the day that happened today in the ZN, the bonds, and then we'll take a quick look at the S&P for tomorrow because we broke down a little bit, and I think we got kind of a straight shot to the 1900s and maybe a little bit below there. So we'll take a look. Let me though start out with the bond trade today. So I don't trade this a lot. I mentioned it right off the bat in the morning. We mostly are trading the S&P and Nasdaq futures, but this is the ZN, which is the ZN, which are the 10-year notes. I really should know this. They might be the 10-year bonds. I'm going to pause for a moment and make sure I know what the heck I'm talking about. Just a second. Notes. They are the notes. Just passed my test and I forgot just about everything. So anyway, ZN is the 10-year notes. 10-year notes. Okay. Now, if you watch much of the financial media or you're trading, spend a little bit of time trading or a full-time trader, I'm sure you know that the 10-year is talked about all the time. It's been kind of in a range between 1 and 2%, which makes it massively higher in terms of its rate than pretty much the rest of the developed world. So we're not going to get into a little lesson in interest rates tonight. Just suffice to say that generally there's an inverse relationship. There's always an inverse relationship between rates and the price of bonds, and there's generally an inverse relationship between the market, let's just call that the S&P. When the S&P is up, generally you'll see bonds down and vice versa. Not all the time. But we had been on a bit of a recovery rally from about 1805
Trade
all the way up
alert.
to
Crude oil.
1940 in the S&P over the last 5 sessions, and as such the bond market has come down quite a bit. This is the move down. I won't tighten the chart. What we did though is these are our DSR levels here, so those that are VPTers know that these are dynamically put in there, and we're using some settings that I won't go into today, but this morning this DSR level was sitting here, just sitting here waiting to look at. See, it was initially touched there. At that point it wasn't there. As soon as this candle closed, that's when the DSR printed. So I'm watching this morning, comes right in here, and almost to the tick I decided that I didn't want to be a D for a T. You can check out the trade glossary for more information about D for a T at vptlive.com. Go to the blog, look for the trade glossary. You can sign up for free and get a couple hundred terms that we use in trading. So we didn't want to be a D for a T, so I decided to buy the top of the DSR level. Could have been a little bit more patient and wait for these lows down here. We got in at 130. Now this is what's a little wacky about these things. That's spot 125. I got to be honest, I don't trade these a lot. I even get a little confused. This trades 64 ticks per point, and each point is $1,000 for a full point. So each tick, one tick, equals $15.62, something like that. But let's just look at the trade. This could be any instrument, any time frame. We happen to be using a 60-minute, and this DSR was printing. We got in there right there at 130, spot 125, and then I trailed the stop a little too tight and sold. This is another weird ninja thing. It would be nice if I sold up here, but the actual exit was right there. Okay. This was about 20 or 21 ticks, 20 to 21 ticks, and that's about $315 in profit on a single lot. And it all happened within the first half an hour of the trading session. So it was sort of a no-pain trade. And this is the first 60-minute candle. This was the second 60-minute candle. So that was the trade of the day. Let me clean that up a little bit. I had mentioned in the room right when the trade was put on that this was my target up here, and I was going to leave it as a swing trade and take about $300 of risk to the downside, and it just moved so quickly, and I ended up trailing a stop. This is all one bar right there. So nice MFE on this, maximum favorable excursion. The maximum favorable excursion was about $900 in this trade, about 900 plus on a single lot. And this occurred, you're going to get this kind of move because we did see the S&P come in a little bit. So let's take a quick look at that S&P, because we're getting to some areas that look like kind of a easier trade, at least to me. Now, I'm not going to trade the Globex, but here's a DSR level here in the S&P. So down here is, I think this was like 1895. Sorry, I didn't write that very well. Maybe 1898. 1898s. And now you see we just started to turn bearish here, and we've broken through our big Mo, our master Mo on the 30-minute. And we can chop around a little bit here, make an attempt. This is another little short area in here around 1918 to 1920. But folks, it looks pretty good, but this week we'll just come back here and revisit this. So we have some nice short setups. Now what's been happening is just gaps and moves all over the place. So we could wake up tomorrow morning and be here at 1900. The ATR is around 30 right now on the S&P. But I think it sets up nicely for fades now officially. We got a really steep descending 21 period. Our 233 is rolling over, and we have a nice DSR level down here. So if you're more aggressive, this is an area to pop in some shorts for the overnight session. Stops above 1920, targets down here at 1900, because we could miss this whole move the way the Globex has been working. But I'm going to be patient, just sort of see it tomorrow, and might be a buyer down right around 1898s to 1900s. Again, that's just going to be half of our range because we have a 30 period ATR. You can see that we're pretty oversold here. All right, we will leave it there for now for tonight. I want to remind everybody that if you're interested in this broadcast or you like the material here, please hit the little follow button on Ticker TV. You'll be notified when we do broadcast here or when I broadcast here. And also, if you'd like to find out more about how we do trade stocks, options, and futures for daily income, you can go to vptlive.com/blog, and on the blog there's links to a number of different services that we have. I'm also going to pop this video over on a little salesy page that we've set up that I'll put on the link, the chat area below this video. You can click on that as well. We're going to be running this thing where you can join us any week that you want, rolling weeks in our VPT Live trade room for no cost. We trade every weekday, Tuesday through Friday, from about 8:30 to 11-ish Central Standard Time. This is Trader Rod VPT reminding you always trade like you mean it. We'll see you at the next broadcast. Thanks.